But we do begin tonight with the FDA issuing that emergency use authorization late today for Pfizer's child vaccine. Children 5 to 11, the first COVID vaccine authorized for that younger age group.
Vaccine advisors are recommending Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for 5 to 11-year-olds. Today's vote was 17-0 with one member abstaining. The Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee saying the benefits of giving children the shot are greater than the potential risks. However, some of the committee did say they had concerns about giving approval based on a few classes.
UNLV's COVID-19 vaccine policy is set to start for the spring 2022 semester. And the school is reminding students to get their vaccine information in with enrollment opening in about 2 weeks now.
Oakland have a major assignment to complete by January. They have to get vaccinated. Oakland Unified has now made it a requirement for in-person learning.
The FDA has authorized Pfizer's COVID vaccine for children aged 5 to 11. The decision comes after a nearly unanimous vote by a panel of the agency's advisors earlier this week. Meanwhile, some public workers in New York City are still pushing back against a new vaccine mandate.
Members called for this special meeting on this issue this morning. The majority of the city council did show up with the mayor presiding. As you know, Mayor Lightfoot is requiring city workers to report their vaccination status or face no pay status. And those who are unvaccinated can submit to testing twice a week at their own expense until the end of the year. In a letter today to the city council, the mayor said as of yesterday, the police department is reporting 72% compliance. The fire department is at 87% compliance. She's saying 30 people in the police department and 32 in the fire department are in no pay status. And what's happening right now, city council members continuing to debate whether that vaccine mandate should be repealed.
Beginning at 5 p.m. today, New York City workers must be vaccinated against COVID-19 or face unpaid leave.
This is about anti-mandate and anti-mandate only.
The strict mandate requires all public workers, including police officers and firefighters, to have at least one dose of a COVID shot. The move has prompted protests and fears of a worker shortage, but the city's mayor says the positions will be filled.
You want to protest? Go protest. People want these jobs. Anyone that doesn't want to do the job anymore, I know someone else will step up and fill it.
The majority of city workers are already vaccinated. Meanwhile, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says that the state has filed a lawsuit challenging the Biden administration over vaccine mandates for federal contractors. DeSantis is seeking an injunction that would block the rule from taking effect on December 8th.
That's a good point about they were saying this would never be appropriate to be mandating just months ago. It's like sometimes you got to just in the moment look back and think, okay, we've gone from 15 days to slow the spread to 3 jabs to keep your job somehow. Are you kidding me? And so I think we realize that, yes, this is an overreach. Yes, it's going to take away an individual's decision to do what makes sense for them. It does violate the Constitution. It's going to hurt the economy. But also, this is not the end of it, okay? I think we know. They always say, oh, well, we just need to do this. And then they go on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. And so it's important for us to take a stand, not only for what's at stake here with the folks that could be affected, but also knowing that if you don't give resistance to this, you're going to continue to see other things, and they're going to absolutely do more. I know there was recent news, people were asking about school children with vaccine. In Florida, there will be no mandate on school children.
Now, if you look at our test and vax program that the FDNY had, we had thousands of tests, and under 0.5% positive for firefighters and fire officers in the FDNY from the test and vax program. So why change it? Why we've already achieved the goals? Why are we changing that? One person is making that decision. One person is making this mandate happen to the fire department, even though we're successful. That's Bill de Blasio. That's our mayor imposing on us.
Let me know when you got the sign.
Hold the line for change and choice! Hold the line for change and choice!
I say without freedom, we don't have a country. Without freedom, you have nothing. Everybody should have the choice to make decisions with their own bodies.
Well, when you start your mandate to have a deadline the day before Election Day, I mean, how much more political can you get than that? I don't know what he's thinking. I mean, a lot of people don't remember this, but on September 11th, it was primary day. Michael Bloomberg didn't have a shot in hell. So these things have consequences. Catastrophes on Election Day have consequences.
I am certain, and I'm listening to Commissioner Nigro, who's been literally given his entire life to the people of New York City, that we will be ready. If folks show up who are not vaccinated, their supervisors will address that as with every agency, and it means, of course, they're not getting paid at that point.
I think it's important because kids aren't really going to school since all this vaccine stuff is going on, and I feel like it's best because we can probably stop Governor Newsom from doing this. I don't feel very good about it, so that's why I'm with my dad today.
The reason I feel it's important to be here with my son is because he needs to understand the liberties and freedoms that he has and that could possibly be taken away. I don't want him to be in a future where he does not know the freedoms that we have now and the ability to have his choice to put whatever he needs in or he wants in his body medically. If you chose to get the vaccine, hey, more power to you. If you choose not to get it, more power to you. But we should all have that individual choice to have that freedom.
Down at the state capitol, and you can see what appears to be a rather large gathering of folks, parents and students gathering in protest of the state's plan for a COVID vaccine mandate in schools. It is part of protests going on across the state, including here in San Diego. Parents have been pulling their kids out of class today to take part in that protest. ABC 10 News reporter has more on how the County Board of Education is responding and what health experts are saying about the mandate.
Could be less full. Parents across the area are taking their kids out of class and to the Capitol instead. ABC 10's political expert Morgan Reiner is at the Capitol right now as you speak. You can see her right there. So Morgan, what do parents protesting want state lawmakers to know this morning?
Well, Brittany, thousands of people are here on the steps of the Capitol, upset with Newsom's mandate for school-age kids, kindergarten through 12th grade. Now, that's once the FDA fully approves it. Right now, it's under emergency use authorization. Now, when I say people came from all across the state, I mean from San Diego up to the northern state line. And if you want to walk with me over here, I'll show you just how many people we're talking about. Thousands. Now, they're all holding different sorts of signs. We have to be a little bit careful showing them. Not all of them have the nicest language on it, but for the most part, kids are holding signs saying, "My parents called the shots." And we're walking over here where hopefully you can see some of the speakers up front. We've had parents speak, we've had teachers, we've had members of the school board. We even have Assembly Member Kevin Kiley, who's supposed to take the stage any minute now to talk about their frustration. They're saying the science does not support this. Kevin Kiley has been adamant he's okay with education. It's the mandate where he draws the line. Now, this is happening at the same time where there's a statewide effort to keep kids home from school today. I mean, this is a huge, large event, but remember, 40 million people in the state of California, the majority are not protesting the mandate, but it's important here everyone understands that they're on the same page. They like the feeling of the community. They like talking to people about their shared frustration. But of course, we'll keep you updated on what the speakers are saying here today, and I'll bring you updates on everything starting at 5 p.m.
Yeah, you can see a lot of parents behind you. I noticed a couple parents trying to get their signs in, so they definitely want to make sure that their voice is heard, and I know you will again update us tonight at 5 and 6. So in our state, vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, and others are already required to attend public school. Governor Newsom has said the state will only mandate a COVID-19 vaccine for students once the vaccine is approved for that age group. Right now, only the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is approved for ages 16.
About 200 parents and their children gathered at Balboa Park to protest vaccine mandates. The protest is part of a statewide grassroots movement organized by moms who spread the word on social media. Thousands showed up to protest outside the state capitol in Sacramento. Kelsey Smith has 2 children who attend a charter school in El Cajon. She says she had to be a part of this sit-out.
We were immediately in support, and I think it's such a good thing to be able to show our kids that they have rights and to stand up for those rights, and if they feel like they're getting taken away.
Children seem to be enjoying the day off of school, and some even spoke against the mandates at the protest.
I don't really like vaccines.
Sharon McKeeman, founder of Let Them Breathe, led the rally.
We are not anti-anything. We are pro-choice when it comes to these precautionary measures and restrictions during the COVID pandemic.
At some schools we visited, it was business as usual today. Oceanside Unified told KPBS their attendance was up, but traffic seemed lighter than usual at Midland Elementary in Poway. And the superintendent of Mountain Empire Unified said about 30% of their students were absent today. San Diego Unified says it saw an attendance drop of less than 1% from last week. Student board member Zachary Patterson noted parents have the right to protest.
We read all of your emails, we read your concerns, and while you might not directly get a response from us, we are reading through those and we're looking through. I think that's productive. Public comment, always a good way. A sit-out, I don't think is going to be the most productive way, but every person their own.
The San Diego Unified vaccine mandate only applies to students age 16 and up. Next week, Patterson plans to introduce a proposal to also require vaccines for students who are 12 and
has some thoughts on the upcoming COVID-19 vaccine mandate for California children. On Sunday, October 3rd, the Blame It On You singer took to Instagram writing, "So let me get this straight. It is no longer our decision as parents or free Americans to make decisions about our kids. Gavin Newsom makes those decisions for us now? You gotta be kidding me." Adding, people in California should be outraged and people everywhere else better start standing up and speaking out now. This is not how America and being free works. Aldean's post was in reaction to Governor Newsom's October 1st announcement that once the FDA approves the coronavirus vaccine for younger age groups, it will be added to the list of 10 other immunizations required for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. In a news conference, Newsom said, "We want to end this pandemic. We are all exhausted by it. Vaccines work. It's why California leads the country in preventing school closures and has the lowest case rates. As of now, the FDA has fully approved Pfizer's vaccine for those 16 and up, while the vaccine is available for ages 12 to 15 under emergency use authorization." Newsom said he expects the requirement to apply to grades 7 and up starting in July.
Is the governor won't sign this bill because she's done that in the past when it comes to other laws aimed at banning masks and vaccine mandates. Now, Democrats say this is a mistake and it's going against science, while Republicans, on the other hand, say this is about freedom and choice.
It's unfortunate that the legislature wants to keep politicizing this pandemic.
A 4-proposal package passing in party lines Tuesday that could dismantle any control public health agencies have on COVID mitigation efforts in schools. Republican Senator Tom Barrett says it's a relief to see this legislation pass, and it will likely clear up confusion.
That's why we need legislation that protects and defines clearly, draws a line in the sand and says these are our rights as parents that the government cannot cross.
In addition to stopping mandates in schools, one of the bills would also ban statewide emergency orders that require students to wear masks, while also banning mandatory COVID testing for asymptomatic cases. This is a win for area parents who've long protested the mandates, but there are still plenty feeling defeated.
BNN.